Hello, dear students. I hope you remember we completed the lesson Sishyanuशासनम from Taittiriya Upanishad. Once again, I'll brief the topics that have been told in your text, that is Sishyanuशासनam. You are told that Sishyanuशासनam is from Taittiriya Upanishad and it was a convocation address given by the teacher to the students who completed their education and who were about to leave for their next stage of life. In our present times, it can be called as convocation address. But you might have observed that it is not an address to the graduated by a flying chief guest who delivers a sermon and leaves by the next available flight, if not by the chartered flight. The convocation address in the Upanishad is by the teacher himself. Vedam Anujya Acharyo Antevasinam Anushasti. No other guest had come to deliver the convocation address. It was their own teacher who had been teaching for the long years in that hermitage. The convocation address in the Upanishad is by the teacher himself who has instructed his students for long years, spent his precious time with them, looked after them as his children, and who is looked upon by them as their mentor and benefactor, as a leading light in their future life. He was the only mentor for them in their whole life. He was the benefactor, and it was like a torching light. He was like a torching light. The teacher tells them how they should conduct themselves in the society when they go out of the Gurukula. What he says, Satyam Vada, Dharmam Jara, Swadhyayan Ma Pramaditavyam, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, like that. This convocation where the Guru vouchsafes his voice is not just a goody woolly advice on how to conduct themselves in the society. Sometimes the teacher advised on specialized subjects like administration, medicine, and even engineering. The address focused on the most important aspects of personal hygiene, which nowadays students are not at all bothered and negligent about. Maintaining good health, both physical and mental, moral, and maintaining clean environment, and the attainment of the four purusharthas, that is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These are said to be the four goals in human life. And when the student came out as a snataka, a man who had taken a holy bath, he emerged quite tall, not merely in physique. He was grown in intellectual, moral, and spiritual stature. That's what the teacher had done all these days. He had taken care that his student grows into a great human being. He was held in esteem by the society. Mahatvai bhutam yat snatakaha, says Apastamba Gruhya Sutras. Mahatvai bhutam. Mahat means he attains elemental proportions. So a graduate is nothing less than an elemental proportion. And what's his obligation to society? Once he was leading his life as a brahmachari, he was under the advice of his teacher and at the command of his teacher, and now he is going to start begin his another life, that is grihastha life. So he has some obligation towards the society. And what advice he has been given? Having taught the Vedas, the teacher instructs the disciples on what to do next. What he says, the most required thing is speak truth, satyam vada, dharmam chara, act right, These are the two pillars of the society, and these are the two things that make a person a good human being. Do not neglect study. Swadhyayat ma pramadah. आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः. Offer wealth to the teacher who likes it. Do not stop progeny. Marry and beget children. Do not deviate from truth. Satyat ma pramadaha. He asks him not to move away, not to swerve away from speaking truth. Always stick to satya. Stick to truth. Do not deviate from what is right. Dharmatna pramaditavyam. Do not neglect your well-being. What is meant good for you? Shriyaha. From that you are not supposed to move. Kushalatna pramaditavyam. You are not supposed to move away from your well-being. Don't neglect prosperity. That is what he says. Bhutyaina pramaditavyam. Vibhuti or bhuti means prosperity. You should make money and spend it in a right way. Do not neglect learning and teaching. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Swadhyaya is learning and pravachana is teaching. Don't never move away from these things. This passage is quite famous and is often quoted. It instructs how the graduates should conduct themselves in society, what they should speak, and how they should act. Speak the truth. But how is truth known? Truth is what you grasp through the valid means of knowledge known, directly through inference and through scripture. Right action is acting according to what you know to be true. And whatever be your field of activity, do not neglect your studies. Preserve, propagate, and increase what you have learned. The Upanishad is never tired of emphasizing the importance of continued learning. And learning is not for learning's sake, it has to be reflected in what you speak and what you do. It's not acquiring degrees, getting qualified more and more in different branches of learning, but it is for the welfare of the society. It should make you a man who can practice it. It is also necessary to take care of yourself. Kushalatna pramaditavyam. You should not get into troubles and you should not make your family people fall into troubles. You have to hold yourself and also hold the responsibility of your parents and the family and the society you live in. To safeguard your interests, to keep yourself physically and mentally fit is not selfishness. It is a social obligation, an individual's contribution to a wholesome society. The Upanishad wants you to work for your welfare and thus contribute to the community's welfare. The word is bhuti, which signifies plenty and prosperity. Thus, the message of the Upanishad is one of plenty, abundance, and wholesomeness, of having enough and to spare, of caring and sharing from a position of plenty. Don't cook food just for yourself or for your family needs. Cook food in plentiful quantity. Annam bahu purvita, says Taittiriya Upanishad. No one should go out hungry from your residence. Na kanchana vasatau pratyadakshita. The message of the Upanishad is not merely of individual abundance, but of cosmic abundance. There is enough for everyone in God's creation, enough for you and to spare for those in need. And the law of nature is that one should give. That's why in 3 or 4 sentences the Upanishad tells about giving. Give and thou shalt be given. Don't give and nature will bypass you. And seek someone who keeps nature's plenty flowing. Nature's bounty is its flow blood, if it is not allowed to circulate freely, there will be blocks and the heart is at risk. Nature does not want risk to its health. It wants its blood to keep flowing, circulating. If you want to save nature from choking and cardiac arrest, help the nature's bounty flow. He who offers me thus in the form of food protects me. I eat him who eats without offering me in the form of food to those who solicit it, says Taittiriya Upanishad. The Upanishad warns that he who eats without sharing it with the hungry will be eaten up. This is the last word of the Upanishad, Iti Upanishad. The Upanishad also emphasizes in what spirit one should share with others what one has. It's not enough to give, it should be given in the right spirit. The food should be cooked with the right attitude, with veneration, with respect. Food cooked with the indifferent attitude and offered with no courtesy yields indifferent reward. Food cooked with contempt and offered with discourtesy will yield a corresponding reward, says the Upanishad. The Upanishad had already declared in its earlier sections that what is given is to be given in the right spirit. That's why here once again it is reiterated in this convocation address. Offer with honor, Shraddhaya Deyam. Do not offer with dishonor, Ashraddhaya Adeyam. Offer in plenty, Shriya Deyam. Offer with modesty, Kriya Deyam. Offer with respectful fear, Bhiya Deyam. Offer with sympathy, Samvida Deyam. So, this Shriyadeyam, Kriyadeyam, Bhiyadeyam, Shraddhayadeyam, Ashraddhayadeyam. These are the advice given on how to give and what to give and what attitude makes you really a good donor. The Taittiriya contains the famous words about treating your mother, father, and also teacher as gods. Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, and Atithi Devo Bhava. It does not merely doesn't show about respect shown or courtesy. They are gods to be worshipped. The teacher tells his students who are going out after completing their studies at his Gurukula how to emulate their teacher. He tells them to emulate what is desirable in the teacher and not to emulate the undesirable. How honest and plain he says. ये ते ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ताः युक्ताः अलूक्षाः धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथा. And what he also says, यानि अनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि न इतराणि यानि अस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वया उपास्यानि न इतराणि. That was the honesty, and it tells about their plain nature, the sages how plain they were in the times of Upanishads. The Taittiriya tells us not to disregard the physical aspect of existence. The physical existence is referred to by the Upanishads in general as Annam, which means more than mere food. It signifies the entire world of objects. The Upanishad says, do not disregard this common life. Annam na nindyat, annam na parachitshita. Pursuit of the higher life does not require to devalue this life. And the Upanishad tells us to lead a quality life, a life of wisdom and wealth, of abundance and fullness. And this is the importance of the lesson Sishyanuशासनम, which is taken from Taittiriya Upanishad in your textbook. Students, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and once again we will read the passage and try to collect what I have read in English before I read the Sanskrit. वेदमनूच्य आचार्यो अन्तेवासिनम् अनुशास्ति सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाकृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मात् न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलात् न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यै न प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यानि अनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि न इतराणि यानि अस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वया उपास्यानि न इतराणि ये के च अस्मान् श्रेयांसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वया आसनेन प्रश्वसितव्यम् श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया अदेयम् श्रिया देयम् ह्रिया देयम् भिया देयम् संविदा देयम् अथ यदि ते कर्मविचिकित्सा वा वृत्तिविचिकित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्शिनः युक्ताः अयुक्ताः अलूक्षाः धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषत् एतदनुशासनम् एवम् उपासितव्यम् एवं च एतत् उपास्यम्. This is the brief and the most celebrated passage in Taittiriya Upanishad, and this is the can be called as convocation in modern times when the students are going to start their another stage of life once they leave their teacher and take up grihastha they have more obligation towards the society, and that obligation how he is going to execute, how he is going to fulfill, how he is going to prove himself as a good human being, as a social human being, as a responsible human being has been told in the Sishyanushasanam of Taittiriya Upanishad. And from this lesson, you will have to write an essay, and there are some sandarbh that I'll read out the possible questions on this lesson. शिक्षावल्याः एकादशानुवाकस्य प्रयोजनं लिखत. You may have a doubt, what's the need of studying Upanishad which has taken place in some thousands years of back? What's the use? Just now you are told that this has been a timeless message by the teacher to the students. We too need to be truthful to ourselves, and we too need to act in a right way, speak right and act right, and do good to others and do good to yourself, and be a responsible and good citizen. That is the message of the Upanishad. You have to take care of your parents, you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your wealth, and you have to be sharing and caring. All these things are taught by the teacher, and referring to these sentences, quoting these sentences, you are supposed to write the purpose of reading the 11th Anuvaka of Sikshavalli of Taittiriya Upanishad. Sikshavalli is the section, and it is the 11th Anuvaka, almost 11th chapter from Taittiriya Upanishad, from which our lesson Sishyanushasanam has been taken. And you have to write the summary of the message the Guru had given to the students who are about to leave the hermitage or Brahmacharyashrama and enter Grihastha. Second question is, Guruhu Sishyan Kim Anushasat? What does he teach the students? What is the Anushasana? In the ending, he says, you can take it as Upanishad. This is the Upanishad. Etad Anushasanam. This is the order. Evam Upasitavyam. You have to practice like this. You have to oblige this. Evam cha etad upasyam. In this way, it has to be accepted. Upasyam. So, what is the Anushasana? What is the instruction given by the teacher? It is an Adesha, it's an order, and also it's an advice, Upadesha, and this is the command, and in to be followed, to be observed. So, what is the second question? Guruhu Sishyan Kim Anushasati. What does the teacher tell the students? So you have to write what he had told the students, how good they need to be, how good they have to act. Sishya, third possible question. Sishyanuशासनम् इति पाठ्यांशस्य विद्यार्थिनां कृते उपादेयताम् उपवर्णयता. You will have to describe the contribution of this lesson to the present student. If you feel that it is useful to the present generation, you write that how it is useful for the present student also. Sishyanuशासनमिति पाठ्यांशस्य विद्यार्थिनां कृते उपादेयताम् उपवर्णयता. What is its message? What is its contribution to the society? That you will have to explain in the third Nibandha Prashna, third essay question. Shall we look at the Sandarbha Vakyas? Satyam vada dharmam chara. What does the teacher tell the students? Satyam vada, speak the truth. Dharmam chara, and act right. Be virtuous, be righteous. It's not enough if we all speak truth, but we do not practice. So, preaching and practicing should go together. Satyam vaktavyam dharmameva acharitavyam. If it's not enough, if one talks only about good things, tells only the truth, unless and until it's not practiced, it's of no use either to the person who speaks it or to the people who are with him, that is in the society. So, Satyam Vada is necessarily followed by Dharmam Chara. Speak truth and observe Dharma. Follow Dharma. When it is conceived in mind, it is Rutam. When it is spoken, it is Satyam. When it is observed, it is Dharma. That is the cosmic law. The cosmic law, when it is in the mind, it is Ritam. When it is spoken, it is Satyam. When it is followed or observed, then it is called Dharmam. So, you have to speak truth and you have to act according to truth. That is, you have to be virtuous, you have to be righteous. That is called righteousness. Matru Devo Bhava. Let your mother be your goddess. You need not worship the goddess going to temples, but the mother is right before yourself, right before your eyes. Take care of her. Give what she wants and learn from her and serve her in her old age and take care of her. Just like that, you have to take care of the father because mother and father are the Pratyaksha Devatas. Svat. Another question is Swadhyaya Pravatanabhyam na Pramaditavyam. One shall not move from Swadhyaya and Pravachana. What you have learned, that you have to practice, that you have to preach, you have to propagate, you have to spread. What you have learned from what education you have learned from your teacher, the same you have to propagate. That is the meaning of Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na Pramaditavyam. One shall not swerve away from these two things. It's not enough if you learn and keep quiet. You have to propagate it. It's an unending process. Swadhyayat ma pramadaha. This is also the same. You have to write that Swadhyayat ma pramadaha. Once again it was reiterated. because they felt the need of righteousness and right learning and right propagation. They have said it again and again. So, Swadhyaya means what you have learned that shall not be forgotten, and one shall not give up learning. It is an unending process. It should be practiced daily. यानि अस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वया upasyaनि. The teacher is honest and plain enough to say that यानि अस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वया upasyaनि. Whatever good things are with us, if at all any good quality is found with us, that shall be practiced by you. And if there is any wrong in us, you shall give it up. This is the statement of the teacher. He is honest enough that if the student tries or comes to know any flaw in the teacher, it shall be neglected, and what is right in him shall be accepted. And last Sandarbha Vakya is Esha Adeshaha, Esha Upadeshaha, Etad Anushasanam. This is the order, this is the instruction, and this is the command. So these are the final words of the sage who had given his convocation address to the students who completed their education. And with this, we are now concluding the Sandarbha Vakya. In next class, we will read about the essay questions and Sandarbha Vakyas of Brahma Shakti Gariyasi. After, we are going to brief the summary. Once again, I am going to tell you the summary of Brahma Shakti Gariyasi, and I will explain you how to attempt the essay question and also the annotations. Till then, bye.